Thank you for having us there. I had no idea that we were going to be giving out awards. That's why I was wearing my baby during it. Did not expect to do that. Also had to coach my daughter. I was like, we're going to an award ceremony and you are not getting an award. Tears in the parking lot, got her together, and then came in. I also held my office hours, or coffee and conversations. Sometimes I'll have 10 people come. Sometimes I'll have 1 or 2. And they just come and talk to me about what's going on in Tullahoma. Usually they have questions about what's happening or ideas. This past week I had someone come who wanted to talk about beautification. So it was a good conversation, and also retail, and just kind of wondering what the process is and how people come in, etc. And then my last thing is I got to participate in the soccer draft. After our wonderful conversation last time about our facility use agreements, it's so fun to see the work that our little leagues, our soccer organizations are doing, all the different kids activities out there. And so I'm just thankful we have them in our town. It's great to participate.
Great. So I might have told you this story before, but earlier this school year, as you know, I visit all 75 classrooms in Tullahoma, and so I happened to visit the classroom of your daughter.
Oh gosh.
Student. And so at the end of my little presentation, I asked if there are any questions. And a hand shot up immediately. It was your daughter. I recognized her. And she said, now, do you work at City Hall? And I said, yeah, I do. She said, so you work for my mother? And
yes.
I said, yeah.
She
I
needs
work for everybody.
She needs the lecture that Robin and I give her. We're like, you're our boss, little ones.
Thank you. Dr. Blake.
Little miss.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Hard to follow that, but I'll try. I'd also like to congratulate the girls' basketball team. The last time we went to the sub-state was probably in 73 or 4. Debbie Parrish was on that team, 74.
They went all the way to the state tournament. They got beat by Bradley by 2 points, and Bradley won the state championship. I was an assistant coach then.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I was sitting on the bench, and I was talking to Tammy Hatfield the whole time, and wasn't paying attention to the game. We just talking. But anyway, Bradley beat us by 2 points, and it was close, very, very close, the whole game. And then back we go again to Bradley Central.
Yeah, I knew when I saw who we had in the sectionals that they're always tough.
Yeah.
But congratulations, girls, you did a great job. We had the groundbreaking for the police station today. We put on hard hats and pretended like we were going to dig a ditch. But glad to see that going. Hopefully, completion date. Do we have any idea about when? The end of this year?
End of this calendar year.
Dear Lord, please pray not so much rain. We'll take a little, but not too much, because sometimes that slows building down. I also would like to congratulate the winners of what I liked about Tullahoma contest. I hadn't been able to attend that the last couple of years, but it's always a pleasure to give out those certificates to those kids, and they really like it. The only other thing I have is we need to shop and buy local if at all possible. That's all I have, Mayor.
You had a pretty good increase in the light tube net new starts this month.
I think it was like
or so.
in the 20s, the high 20s, I think.
Oh, good.
We're approaching 4,000, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was 29. I talked about that a couple of weeks ago, but it's like decay. I mean, I've learned it and forgotten it. The older I get, the quicker that goes.
Yep.
That's all I have.
Thank you. Ms. Durham.
Yes, so I feel like I have ordered a bunch of stuff on Sears Roebuck, and it's all coming in this month. So I'm just so excited. Do you remember the Sears Roebuck catalog?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's where I feel like I'm at right now. So first we've got decals that are coming. I've got, it'll be I Recycle, the symbol Recycle Tullahoma, and they're going to be available for our businesses that recycle. So those are a gift, our sponsorship from Interlocal Solid Waste Authority and CFC Recycling. They both pitched in for that, so we're very thankful for that. So we'll be handing those out to different businesses whenever those come in. And we have on April 4th, so to second Jimmy's prayer for less rain, April 4th, we are putting in our rain garden at East Lincoln Elementary School. So we need 50 to 100 volunteers that Saturday. So we've already got some Boy Scouts, we've got Girl Scouts, we've got several gardening groups. So we've got volunteers, but that doesn't mean we couldn't use some more help. So if you've got a shovel or a spade and you don't mind getting dirty, we've got 2 shifts in the morning, and then we've got starting at noon on that Saturday. So we'd love to have as much help as possible. So anybody who wants to do that would be wonderful. And of course, the rain garden, the point of the rain garden is to help control flash flooding situations, and of course beautify that area also. So it's the whole point to this is that people will feel empowered to be able to do the same thing in their own backyard or in their own businesses. So we're hoping this will be a type of showcase for the community. So I'm very excited about that. And then on April 20th, that's a Monday, we are having our Earth Day celebration. It's going to start at 3 o'clock to 7 with the farmers market. So if there are any other businesses who want to join us, we'd love to have you. If you want to, or different organizations, if you've got a nature group or whatever and you want to be a part of it, we'd love to have some more folks there. And then on this Wednesday, so this is not a city-sponsored event, but this is something I'm really excited about. Our tickets go on sale for TEDx Tullahoma. So that is going to be Saturday, April 25th. So start looking for those on Wednesday. I know those are going to sell out, so I hope all of y'all can join us, but this should be really fun. So, yep, that's it.
So I suspect you've already done this, but you might want to reach out to the high school because there are hundreds of students that are looking for service hours that might work for your
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Dunn. Mr. Norris, please, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. This is not a city issue, but I'll use it as a point to make. Our Rotary organization co-sponsors with Project Cure. We collect medical supplies that are not permitted to be dispensed, out-of-date supplies, and we donate those to an organization called Project Cure, which is an international organization, and those supplies go to third world countries. Help those in need there. I took a load to Nashville that just so happens that warehouse happens to be in North Nashville, not far from Rosa Parks area, which was in the news prominently last week. So I did experience some of the tornado results there in Nashville, and it was shocking. We'll be glad to do that for those in need in third world countries there. Another Rotary issue. An annual event for me is participating in their district conference for the Interact organization, which is a junior Rotary, if you will. And last week we had 660 students in Pigeon Forge in one room at one time. Now with the virus going around, is that a good idea? I don't know. It's the only room we had. But anyway, with that, I was on the Scholarship Award Committee, and we selected 11 of the candidates that were down selected to 11, and we awarded 6 $2,000 scholarships to those students. Now, you talked about the students that participate with resumes at service projects. One young man came in with a resume, and he started going through his resume, and I just kept flipping pages and flipping pages and flipping pages. His resume was 13 pages long for a scholarship. I said, you've got to learn to condense, okay? But anyway, seeing those students that normally would be sitting right here, it does my heart good to see that generation coming along. Then we did have a groundbreaking today for the police station, which I'm very, very happy to see coming out of the ground now. That'll be something to look forward to this fall when Chief moves in. That's all.
Good. Thank you, Mr. Norris. Let's see, Chief Chastain is not here, is he? I was going to ask if he would give a report on, they took 2 more truckloads of supplies to Cookeville today. So I'm sitting at home the morning of the tornado hit northern Nashville and Mount Juliet and Cookeville in that area. Monday night, I believe, wasn't it? I mean, early Tuesday morning, I think.
Yeah, Monday night, yeah.
Yeah. So Evelyn says to me about mid-morning on Tuesday, she said, "Now, are you going to organize getting supplies to Nashville?" And I said, well, of course we will. We have a history of doing that. Tullahoma really responds to that. But I said, Nashville's getting so much, or will get so much attention nationally and perhaps even internationally. Let's pick another city, that's close by. And so we chose Cookeville. And one of the reasons I chose Cookeville was because of so many hundreds, I don't know, thousands, I don't know, Tennessee Tech graduates that live in our area. So we've challenged, them to get involved, and I can't say that they did or did not. I suspect, I'm sure some did, but it has been overwhelming, the response. I think we've taken at least 3 trailer loads to Cookeville. The mayor of Cookeville has said, no more, we can't handle anymore right now. We can't handle more right now. So anyway, I'm really, really proud of Tullahoma and the work, the volunteerism that's turned out to support Cookeville.
Mayor, let me comment on that. If you remember the fire that went through Gatlinburg, it was the same night that a tornado went through Tullahoma, and particularly the country club area there. I participated in the center there for helping those people in Gatlinburg, and people were donating things, truckloads of supplies, clothes, for instance, and water bottles. When the event finally had to shut down and asking people not to bring anything else, many people were sending clothes, many things that they didn't know they needed anymore. We carried 7 trailer truck loads of clothes to Nashville to a shredding center to have them shredded so that we could sell that for money. They were recycled. The clothing was recycled then. But we could get money to help the people.
Yeah.
It was much more important than the clothes. That's just a point that I'd make for anyone that's wants to help in Cookeville. Stuff is not so much what they need as financial assistance to help rebuild their lives.
So I'm pretty sure Chief Chastain told me today that he estimated there were several thousands of dollars in gift cards collected.
It's a good thing.
And several people are still contacting me, mostly by email, to say, what more can we do? And so I'm suggesting.
It's the best way.
Right, gift cards and things like that.
Thank you.
So I'm very proud of the people of Tullahoma. They've done once again, stepped up, done a good job. Okay, ready for the city attorney's report. Mr. Worsham, please, sir.
Good evening. The only thing I have to report tonight is that, as promised, we did file the suits for the delinquent 2018 property taxes before the end of February. I guess Ms. Golden is now collecting from a few people. I'm going to get with her about those that have paid before the deadline, because we do accept payments that are postmarked through the end of February, so they trickle in for a few days after that. We're working toward the settlement of a planning and codes lawsuit that we filed regarding some dilapidated property in Westwood subdivision, an abandoned home over there. Hopefully we'll have a court order about that, and we'll be able to be in a position to raise that property and charge the cost thereof against the property taxes. But we have an assurance from the mortgage holder of that property that they will pay all of that and the property taxes when the time comes. But we can't calculate what they'll owe us until we know how much it's cost us to raise the property. Other than that, we're just working on the routine things that we ordinarily work on, and if you have any questions, well, I'd be happy to answer at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Worsham.
Good, okay, thank you.
All good. Mrs. Moody.
Hey, I'm happy to share, last week I attended the Chamber Board of Directors meeting, and that was very informative and made some good contacts. The Chamber is really growing, that's what I walked away with, very impressed. And then also last week attended a Friends of Short Springs meeting, where I didn't know I would be announcing this to them for the first time, but they were not aware of our Machine Falls being on the cover of the Tennessee Vacation Guide. So I was able to share that with them, and they were very excited. And of course, just I would say equally a little bit nervous about how we will handle the increased traffic to the trails. And there was a lot of discussion about some needed improvements to the trails. And I was actually very impressed by the state's response to that, which was that they will study what could be done to improve, especially the worst areas, and come back with a plan to address it. So I think everyone walked away very pleased with that response. Also, I want to give you an update this morning. The Tullahoma Area Economic Development Corporation, that board, and the city's Industrial Development Board, which you know is, consists of the same members, but is a little bit less active. They met this morning and decided to transfer the funds needed to purchase the downtown property, rather than some portion of it being a transfer and part loan. We're just keeping it simple, and it'll just be a straight transfer of the $152,000. So we will probably close on the property next week. Okay? And then I want to give you an update. Next week, there's the Tennessee Municipal League Conference on Monday and Tuesday. I know I typically attend only the Monday session. I think some of you may be there with me, I'm not sure. Alderman Noah's, I know, has a planning commission meeting that's in conflict with that conference. But we always walk away with good.
Do the two of you plan to attend? Oh, good.
I
I'm glad you
am.
are.
I
Good.
am.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. I think for the new ones particularly, I think it would be a good overview of what's
It
going
is.
on.
It's really good networking
Yeah, they do a
with
good
your
job.
other elected officials, and it's your opportunity to visit with our representatives. I know they're very accessible and available to us. We're fortunate for that here locally, but it's also a time to visit them at the General Assembly. Next Friday, we will attend what should be, I believe, our last workshop as a part of what the Tennessee Economic and Community Development is calling SCOPE, a pilot project on economic development and entrepreneurship, and we'll be in Centerville on Friday for that. And then also next week, all of our frontline staff are participating in customer service training, and MTAS is providing that. They have a fairly new trainer named Sarah Curtis that has put together a training for us, and we'll be offering that all day on Thursday in 3 different sessions at D.W. Wilson. So I hope to hear some good reports after that maybe you see some improvements or some minor changes that are making our service better. And then last, I'll say this month, remember, we will not be meeting at our regular second meeting of the month. So our next board meeting will be April 13th.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Moody. All right, we're ready for the consent agenda. We have 5 items. 20-24, the minutes of the February 24th, 2020 regular meeting. 20-25, approve the purchase of new radio repeater equipment for police communications in the amount of $9,598 under state contract pricing from Communications Evolutions. 20-26, approve the purchase of 2 new vehicles for the police department in the amount of $61,590 under state contract pricing from Ford of Murfreesboro. Item number 20-27, approve the sole source procurement of electrostatic painting services from EPP Inc. in the amount of $12,750 to restore the iron fencing, 2 arches, 1 gate, and the sign at Maplewood Cemetery. And item number 20-28, accept the mayor's appointment of David Bethea, representing Motlow College, to the Tullahoma Arts Council to fulfill an unexpired term ending August 13th, 2020. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Ms. Blackwell.
Second.
Seconded by Dr. Blanks. All those in favor of the consent agenda as presented, vote green, opposed, vote red. Motion passes 7-0. We have no old business, we have no new business. As you know, well, 5 of us know, we typically hold this meeting a little bit shorter in terms of agenda items, so we can be prepared to listen to the presentations by the various folks that are soliciting money from the city government. So I'm not aware of, Ms. Moody, any other new or old business needs to come up tonight?
Tonight.
All right. Yeah. So we'll adjourn the regular meeting and go in the beer board portion of the agenda. We have 1 item, the consent agenda, BB 11, minutes of the February 24th beer board meeting. Is there a motion to
Move to
approve?
approve.
Motion by Mr. Norris, second by Mr. Berry. I'm sorry, Mr. Mathis. All those in favor of the consent agenda, vote green, opposed, vote red. Motion passes 7-0. All right, so now we'll adjourn the beer board. We'll go into the board study session portion of the agenda. As you all know, this is the beginning of the development of the city government annual annual budget proposal, which we'll be hearing more and more from over the next couple of months. But this is just the very start of it. So I will read the listing of those organizations, and looks like Mr. Moody has got it very well organized. I like that. I've not seen it presented like this before. So Civil Air Patrol, Coffee County Health Department, see Ms. Broadway here, Coffee County Land and Memorial Library. They're always very well represented. We're very pleased to have Mrs. Kathy Rose here this evening. Thank you. Welcome, Ms. Rose.
Thank you, Mayor Curley. It's always a pleasure to be here representing the library. We very much appreciate the $15,000 that the city gave us last year. Both Manchester and Tullahoma provided $15,000 in the budget. And I believe do you have a copy of our
Yes,
budget? Okay,
yeah,
you
we've
got a
got
copy of the
everything
budget request for this year. Okay. One thing I wanted to point out to you, if you take a look up on in our line items that include the salaries, there seems to be a bit of a jump in that this year. And I want to just take a minute and explain that a while back, the county did a study to compare what we were paying the heads of departments in Coffee County with the heads of departments, comparable departments in surrounding counties. And in the area of the library, we were somewhat lacking. So the county asked us to present a budget that would show a bit more equity in those salaries. So that's the reason why you see those large jumps in there. How much of that money the county will give us, we do not know at this point, but that was the budget we were asked to present. We gave them a budget that showed what we felt our people should be making. And so now we'll hopefully get some of that and have a little more equity with those positions. We're asking for $15,000 from the city of Tullahoma again this year. And we like to brag a little bit. I know one of the things that we have mentioned in the past when they've asked for money from you is we have touted the electronic books that we're purchasing. And just so you will know that that money has gone to a good place, we have had a circulation from the Tullahoma Library, we've had a circulation of 30,265 pieces of material that are available through Reads. Our purchase of those books makes it quicker for our local patrons to be able to check those items out electronically. You're going to be on a much shorter waiting list if your local library owns an electronic copy of that book than you will be if they do not. So we're purchasing those books and we're seeing a benefit from that. We had 84,460 visits to the Coffee County Lanham Library last year and 11,204 uses of the free wireless that we offer. Again, the price of a library card gives you access to all the knowledge of the known world, and it's free. And we appreciate the support you give us, and we hope you'll continue to provide that support in the coming year. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions of Ms. Rose?
I have one real quick.
Yes.
It has nothing to do with your funding request.
Yes.
But some of the people up here may know a little bit about it or not know a little bit about it. There's some legislation being proposed about getting into the librarian's domain and bailiwick.
Yes, the parent advisory group that can go in and basically censor what's placed in libraries. Yes, library boards, librarians across the state, we have a campaign going right now that is going into committee, I believe Wednesday. It's supposed to go before a subcommittee before this week is out. And we are calling, writing, emailing, trying to discourage that. It's censorship in its worst form. It's not that we don't like to have input as to what patrons want to see in the library. We certainly do want input. That's how a lot of purchases are made. But to have an elected committee that will determine what you can and can't have in your library, that terrifies me as an English teacher, and I would hate to see that happen. So I have a link I'd be happy to send to you if you
That'd be
would like
great.
to get involved in
We
that.
can send to all of us.
Okay, I will do it. Mayor Curley, if I send that to you, will you see that it
Will do.
gets to everyone? Thank you for asking about
You're
that.
very welcome.
Yep.
Thank you
Appreciate
for
it
that
very much.
information.
Thank you. All right, Miss Vicki from the Senior Citizens could not be here this evening. Skills Development, South Central Human Resource Agency, Tennessee Rehabilitation, Trinity Care Center, Tullahoma Daycare, Tullahoma Sports Council, Hands-On Science Center, Historic Preservation. Well, there's Dr. Mark. Welcome, Mr. Shemp.
Thank you, Mayor. Pleasure to be here. Board. Appreciate it. I will be brief. Obviously, I want to open and thank you. I'm Mark Shemp, and I'm president of the Historic Preservation Society of Tullahoma. I want to thank you all for your long-time support. We've been around for a long time, and you folks have always been there for us. We're currently involved. We work with and serve on the Tourism Council. We're supporting the downtown initiative. It's going to be a wonderful thing for Tullahoma as it moves forward. And some of our previous efforts are foundational in their efforts to move forward, both with our work on getting districts in the town, as well as the efforts needed to become a certified local government, which I know is something we're all working for down the road too. So we've got a new chair, Stephanie Steverson, for our historic marker project. So we're going to be working with the Tourism Council on it, but we're also going to try and institute. We're in discussions now to get a new townwide survey of all our heritage homes and stuff. We have an abundant number of homes that are either at or 100 years of age. So we have signage, and we're working to upgrade the signage, and then actually find out. The last time we did a townwide survey was back in the early 90s. So a lot of things have changed in our community since then. So we're working towards that goal. Ms. Moody's comments about Short Springs, I like to say we were instrumental back in the early days of kicking the can to get that thing started and going and fighting and helping provide leadership to that project. So to have the issues now, where are we going to put all the Parker people, that's a wonderful problem to have at a time we didn't think we could even save it to start with. So I'm grateful. On behalf of the Historic Society, we're grateful for all you've done in the past, and we ask for your continued support. Most of the funds, if not all the funds that we get from the city, go towards the maintenance and the insurance of both the caboose downtown in History Park and the Canoe Bustle cabin over on the grounds of South Jackson. So we're here trying to do our best. We encourage particularly the young folks, and we've got some younger folks coming in, which is just exciting because a lot of us are graying out, for lack of a better way to say it. So we're pleased to see some younger folks involved in the Historic Society. So I have any questions, please feel free. Matt, thank you.
So, do you have the aldermen on the email list about meetings that are coming up? If you've never attended one of these meetings, I would encourage you to do so. They're very, very interesting, talking about different facets of the history of Tullahoma. And I appreciate the work and the research that the speaker does in preparation for that. So,
If we don't, we certainly will.
Yeah.
And we have some really fascinating, interesting people that come and talk with us. We have been blessed, and I want to say this out loud, and you've said it before, and she's been commemorated for her efforts down in Short Springs, at the efforts of Marjorie Collier. Mm-hmm. Marjorie Collier has chronicled Tullahoma's history for us back to the beginning as much as anybody. It's not been a sole source project, but she has certainly provided the leadership, and she continues to do so. So
if you would add the alderman and Ms. Moody to the list, I'd appreciate it.
I will do my best.
Yep.
Thank you.
Good.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You're
Okay. Keep Coffee County beautiful. I know they've gone through some issues. some of you might know more about it than I do, but I'm not sure that they're still operating, but South Jackson Civic Association, Mr. Gray. Welcome.
We want to also say thank you for the support that the city has given to our organization and what we're trying to do to make Tullahoma all that it can be. And so we're looking at some incredible days ahead. We have had some phenomenal days over the last year to 2 years, and very grateful to our community and excited about the idea of who we are within the community and what we can offer to the community in bringing the arts and bringing tourism and people into the area because we exist. So we're grateful for that opportunity. I think you have a copy of some stuff that was submitted for the proposal by our operations chair. And I will just address a few of those things. We've had a phenomenal year. You see how the monies that you gave were allocated and how they were spent, and then what we are looking and asking for this coming year. Performing arts, we've got an incredible year ahead of us, and we just finished up a concert with Becky Buller. I know some of you were able to be a part of that, and we are grateful for that. Becky is very up and coming, and we were excited to have the opportunity to really have her back on our home turf and be able to afford it. She is going to have a lot under her belt, and that show was recorded live from South Jackson, and so she's going to be releasing a lot of videos and stuff from that performance live from South Jackson. So we're hoping we tag that on with some Dustin Lynch, Tullahoma, and a few things. We might bring a little more attention to our area and pull people into the area for that. A lot of things happening with our facilities, and a lot of effort for growth that we have there. Currently awaiting some bids for the beam in our new black box theater, and as soon as we have that, we're able to move forward on that and get the permits necessary. And so we're super excited how that has moved along. We do have permits in place and are currently, as long as the rain will hold out, building our outdoor stage, a courtyard stage. Many of you might not know, but the center there of South Jackson, between the buildings, there's a wonderful courtyard area, and so we're looking to take full advantage of that. We're building a full-size stage out there. All of those, everything's been approved for that, and we have the permits to work on that. And actually, I've got some of the work done and continuing with some of the work in the future. Just received some Bonnaroo funding too. They like this whole idea of an outdoor theater space stage for concerts and stuff, so that's been a big positive as well. And then building needs. As you guys know, we feel pretty confident about what we believe South Jackson is to the city of Tullahoma, and we do feel like it's a jewel for the city. And our goal and desire is to preserve it and maintain it and make it an incredible place. And so that, and with that in mind, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. And we will be doing a lot of work on the outside, some soffit and fascia work that's being addressed immediately. And there's been some other things that have happened to the outside for beautification, as you well know. And we have some more intentions for that as well. And I'm just looking forward to some great opportunities with that and inside. 2022 will be the 100th anniversary of the auditorium. It was built in 1922. And so we are currently undergoing a restoration and renovation inside as well. Through our last big payback campaign, we raised money to help with some of that, and we have rigging inspections and stuff happening next week that will help us to know exactly what has to be fixed and ready for our brand new curtains, that are going in. That sounds like minor, but it is so major, and takes an awful lot of money to do. And so we've got that, and as well as the repainting and redoing of the inside of the auditorium, and then a capital campaigns drive that will launch here in March that will involve refinishing the flooring and new seating, both upstairs and downstairs. So we're super excited about the things to come, and we appreciate your support, and it doesn't go unnoticed. So thank you.
Greg, thank you. You and your team are doing an exceptional job, and we appreciate the work that you're doing. That is a city-owned facility, and so they're at their own initiative. There's raising money and spending money to keep it up and doing a good job. So, thank you. Thank you, Greg. Let's see. I think I saw. Yeah, Tennessee Backroads Heritage. Here she is. And again, if you're not on, do you send the newsletter? I know I get the newsletter. Can you add the alderman to it if you're not in Miss Moody?
They should be, but if
Okay.
you're not,
Okay.
please let me, I'll be in touch with somebody.
Because she does a good job with
I brought one
newsletter.
tonight. I want to say thank you for your past funding as well, and I hope that that can continue in the future. This is what he's talking about, so if you haven't seen this, I'll get you on the list for sure. First of all, I want to tell you that in about 6 weeks, we're going to have a new one of these out. So I want to pass some of these around. Jennifer, we have that. Hello. And we're just about out of those, so timing is everything. I want to say that we're going to have a good ad in there for the city of Tullahoma. And I've worked with Winston on that and Hope, and I think it's going to be really good. We've got more advertisers than ever before, so that's a real good thing. It's going to be a good guide this time. Let me say too that we will also be reprinting the Tullahoma campaign because we're out of these, and the Welcome Center, state Welcome Centers are begging for these. So that's a good thing, and there will be a reprint in about 6 weeks of that as well. I want to echo what Jennifer said about Machine Falls. I think that's spectacular that it's on the front of the Middle Tennessee Guide. About 3 years ago, we were fortunate enough to have Falls Mill in Belvedere on the front. So in this area, because we're a regional tourism organization, I'd say 2 out of 4 or 5 is not bad.
Yeah.
So we're real excited about that. I just wanted to say that, of course, the state only gives us Coffee County tourism figures, but it's over $100 million to Coffee County in tourism expenditures, and that's significant. And for the state, it's over $22 billion. So this coronavirus needs to stop, and we need to keep going. And so that $22 billion, those are 2018 figures, but it's about 20% increase, and that's significant. So I want to say we have done more outreach this year. We're going to be doing more 2020. We've done more shows, we've done more marketplaces, and we're kind of trying to get outside of our little area to get them to come over here and see what we have, because local people pretty much know. So we're really taking the message out, and this is one of the real popular things that they pick up at our booth. So we love talking to them one-on-one and telling them about all the things they can do, and hopefully heads in beds and spend some money and get that hotel motel tax. So anyway, it's in about 6 weeks we're gonna have new stuff out, and we'll be delivering, and life will be good.
Good. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good job. Let's see, Tullahoma Arts Center. Let's see, here, Tullahoma Area Chamber of Commerce. Ms. Hope. Welcome.
Hello, thank you. I do have some packets of information. Jennifer, if you don't mind to pass those out, please. Thank you. It's just a detailed listing for everyone to have a copy of the planned spending for the funds. Well, Thank you all so much for the consideration for this year. As you know, the chamber serves, we wear many hats. One of them is we kind of serve as a welcome mat to Tullahoma. We greet guests daily who are visiting. They're looking to move to Tullahoma. They want to open a business, and we provide information to them. We always make sure that they get a copy of our Think Tullahoma magazine. We're very proud of that product and that publication. Our website has high traffic numbers, and that is actually our biggest plan of improvement for 2020 is to improve the website and add some more vital information to that. We have so many things happening with our ambassadors. Our ambassadors group is growing. We're actually at maximum capacity. That group is very active and engaged in the community and getting out and getting involved. The AOPA, I know we worked the event last year and helped to distribute information through that. The Arnold Community Council, I did not attend the DC trip last year, but I am planning to attend this year, and we'll go advocate for the Air Force Base. They are very eager to put me to work making congressional calls, and so that's going to be an exciting experience. We will have our Bonnaroo booth again this year, and so as long as the coronavirus holds off, hopefully. We'll continue our Business of the Week, which is where we pop in to businesses and we celebrate their membership. We give them a little swag bag, and the highlight and the biggest treat is always that they get free breakfast from Chick-fil-A for the entire week that they're Business of the Week. We do have plans to do our Business Expo, Taste of Tullahoma, again this year. It's going to be downtown Tullahoma in the fall. We're looking at it September. We're continuing to partner with the school system with the CEO program. Anybody who's not familiar with that program, I'm happy to elaborate at a later time. Our Christmas parade in 2019 had record-breaking numbers. We had 117 floats go down Jackson Street, and so it was a fantastic, very well-attended event and perfect weather. We have a listing of all the purchase advertising that we did in 19 and continue to plan to do for this year. We are exploring a staff member going through the Gaddis leadership, and we'll continue our Extra Miler program, continuing to partner with Interlocal Solid Waste Authority for the various events and projects that we do. Working on the magazine. We have maps is our #1 request that we get out of our office. And when we are out of maps, it handicaps us quite a bit. People, it doesn't matter the age. There's no demographic. It's every single person wants a map, and so we are very excited about the new edition of maps that we have in our office. We continue to partner with many of our local mediums to promote the different events that we have to make sure and get the word out to the citizens of Tullahoma and all the activities that we have planned. We send out an average of 7 relocation packets per month. We spend a lot in postage sending out relocation packets. We continue to work very closely with the retail members that we have, trying to help promote that Tullahoma is a retail hub, and continuing to partner with Exchange Media Group for our Shop Local campaign. We had 31 ribbon cuttings last year, and that request continues to grow for this year. Our membership is at 421. We've had 30 new members join since January. So we think that that's just a testament to the environment that we're creating and that people really want to be a part of that environment. We have several seminars planned for this year. We'll continue to sponsor the Soapbox Derby Driver. We invest in social media boosting to help promote the events. We are an active part of the South Central Tourism Council. Our chamber office is actually a stop on the geocaching tour. So we see people kind of looking around, and every now and then we have to help them out just a little bit. The TAEDC, I do attend those meetings when I can and partner with Tom to help. I've also traveled to Atlanta in the past to help them work the booth at the ICSC conference. The Tennessee Backroads Heritage, very active with that and attended their dinner last year. TCCE, we actually have Tisha Fritz in training this week. She is up there extending her chamber knowledge, just continuing to be the tourism arm. We do all the local TV stations to help promote the events. as I said, our website is our biggest project that we plan to redo in 2020. We continue to distribute our weekly newsletters to over 1,000 people. And then we have a listing of our purchase advertising.
Very good. You're certainly a front door to Tullahoma, and we appreciate it.
Are there any questions?
Very good. Thank you, Hope.
Well, I do have something that I would like to add. We, maybe something that you can help with. We, recently when Dustin Lynch named his album Tullahoma, we were very excited and knew that this was going to really put Tullahoma on the map. And we recently had a couple come into our office who moved to Tullahoma from California because this is where Dustin Lynch is from. And so we think that that is awesome. And so maybe if you could help, we could maybe get something a little special for them and maybe a special welcome from Dustin. But we were very excited to welcome them from California just because that's where Dustin lives. So,
That's a neat story, yeah.
are there any questions about any of the materials?
Good job, Hope. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have 3 new requests that have expressed interest in receiving some city government funding. The first is CASA, Court-Appointed Special Advocate. Everybody? Coffee County Human? I'm sorry?
Can I speak to CASA?
Sure.
I was the first chairman for CASA in Coffee County. And CASA stands for Court-Appointed Special Advocates for Children. Court-Appointed Special Advocates for Children. And these are for children who have come under the jurisdiction of the court system. And the judge, what does he do with them? CASA provides volunteers that take these children under their wing and become the voice for that child throughout the court system. So I became very well, the doctor, it doesn't take you very long to hear those cases that you get close to them. So yeah, on behalf of CASA, I'd advocate for them.
Sure. Great group. Thank you, Mr. Noyes. Coffee County Humane Society? Welcome. Yeah.
Brought a
Remind me your name, please.
Hazel Fannin.
Okay. Yeah.
I've been co-president for about 10, 12 years. It's like the mafia, you get in, you can't get out. That's around for me. We are an all-volunteer group. We are not affiliated with the animal shelters, but in Tullahoma, we do work closely with Jeff Wilson and have a good working relationship with him. And I'm here because we do a community outreach program. When we first got organized in about 2006, we asked area vets what's the biggest problem, and they all said pet overpopulation. So our big community outreach is to help low-income families spay and neuter their pets. Well, we could be called Cats R Us because we are overwhelmed with requests to help spay and neuter cats. I don't know if probably y'all realize the Tullahoma shelter does not take cats. Neither does Coffee County or Manchester. And cats can have a lot of litters, unfortunately. So we do about 600 spay neuters a year. About 2/3 of them are cats. And last year, about 125 cats were Tullahoma City cats. And a lot of times, you got people who are older feeding 10, 12, 15 cats. They can't even afford a copay. We ask $20, and that includes the rabies shot, worming, and the spay neuter. But a lot of times they can't even pay anything, so we pay it. So I'm here to see if maybe the Tullahoma City can help us a little bit with this.
Sure.
The other way we're involved with Tullahoma is that we take pet food to the Good Samaritans on Grundy Street, and we take small bags so that they can help a lot of people that have pets.
Yes, this came to my attention a couple of weeks ago, actually, that you were taking care of Tullahoma cats. Now, where does someone reports a cat that's wandering around and doesn't belong to anybody, you'll go.
Yes,
to- right, that's what
absolutely,
I thought.
because, those cats can go out and cause many, many litters.
Sure.
All Creatures, who now has the Tullahoma office, is very involved with our spay-neuter efforts, and we do 1 to 2 clinics in Tullahoma a month where they do 10 to 20 cats for us. And then they have 1 giant clinic in Manchester a month for about 40 to 45. So, I think we're making progress. It's just that, you miss 1 male and he may impregnate God knows how many females in a mile area. So it's really a big problem, but we are working on it. And I think we're helping.
Very good. Yeah.
I will add, we also, and we have a grant for this part, but from the Community Foundation of Middle Tennessee, we also help low-income families when their pet has a really serious illness or injury. We'll help $150 to $200 on the bill for them. And this can save a lot of animal lives.
Very good. Yeah, it does seem appropriate that you help out a little bit, so.
Okay.
We'll be in touch. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, horseplay. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Lisa Hetfield. I'm the president of Horseplay, and actually I was contacted by Ms. Mooney or somebody, I guess, I don't know who put my name out there, but somebody did. They contacted me after the deadline for the money. So part of the reason I think they did is because our fundraising for the last year or so has been for a bathroom. Horseplay is a nonprofit that we provide therapeutic riding for children with special needs. It's a free program. The parents and the children pay nothing. So, of course, all the money that we raise is to take care of our horses, and we have 13 acres over on Westside Drive. And so for I can't tell you how long we've been over there, close to 10 years, I think. We've only had a porta potty for our children, which some of them obviously could not use a porta potty. So we've been raising money for the bathroom. We raised the money last year. Most of it we still have $5,000–10,000 to raise, but or come out of our general budget. But in doing our building, we had to pay $450 in permits from the city of Tullahoma, so we're trying to at least recoup from the city of Tullahoma maybe that money, and I asked for $2,000 to maybe give a little bit towards our bathroom, but we have grown so much thanks to the city of Tullahoma and the businesses here and in surrounding counties. We have one major fundraiser, that's our luncheon. Last year we had a barn dance that raised money for the bathroom, but we primarily get donations from businesses and private citizens in Tullahoma and surrounding counties. So the bathroom cost us $25,000, and we've raised $15,000. And we also do not have parking or sidewalks that go directly, so our wheelchairs have to go through bumpity-lumpity-lump, so that'll be our next project. But somebody brought this up to me, and so if Tullahoma can help at all with anything, we'd be really proud to accept that from you all.
So here's how all this happened. The contractor for the restrooms contacted me right before receiving the permit and asked if I would waive the permit. Well, it's an ordinance. I can't just waive an ordinance and say, no, you don't have to pay anything. So they paid that, but it just makes sense to me that maybe for any 501c3 that like Habitat, Horseplay, and others that maybe is doing some construction in Tullahoma, that we might ought to consider waiving that permit. Now that doesn't include churches. They're not 501c3s. They're another category. So it's just something to think about. Ms. Moody and I will talk about it a little bit more to see what the fiscal impact might be for that. But to me, it just makes sense. Well, we're not in session. We're not in session right now. But so anyway, just think about that and see if you want to consider doing that. And maybe we can, I don't know, I didn't talk to Ms. Moody about this, if we can make it retroactive or not in order to be reimbursed them, but we'll try to figure out something.
Okay. Well, I would like
that's how it all came
I'd like
about.
to speak up because Russ Barrett with Barrett Construction, they are actually building our bathroom for cost,
Yeah.
and Lowe's is providing us the materials for our bathroom at cost. So, I mean, $25,000 is minus all that, and they've
Yeah.
been so generous. And I mean, for Russ to come and ask for you to waive, I had no idea he was even going to
Yeah.
do that, so.
Yeah, he took the initiative and did that.
And Lane, of course, has helped us in the past. He put our name up for the Dustin Lynch several years ago, which helped us get our arena. So I appreciate Tullahoma. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's a great organization. If you've ever been to observe, it's pretty remarkable what they do. Okay, I don't think I missed anybody. Mr. Carroll, no one has ever stayed this long before that's received an award, so congratulations.
Generous.
Yeah. Well, you're very kind, thank you. All right, any other business? We are adjourned. Have a good night. Thank you.